Milan Gamillion, a pair of seniors battling off as Taylor wears the purple bro uniform. And Mia McGrath serves to start this Friday night affair. Ashley Lee, one of two setters for Virginia, finds the right side, and the swing is long with no touch from Elena Dupre, the transfer from Virginia Tech.
That's such a great look for Clemson. You know, they're waiting on defense, really watching that ball.
Meanwhile, Dupre, the only player on Virginia's roster that has beaten Clemson. Coach Wells made note of that as the left side swing from Lauren Bowie. Recycled well and out to the right side, and it's another freshman in the Finland native Nea Marie Joki. Joki with a sharp angle that goes wide. Great defense early by Virginia.
Yes, absolutely. You know, Coach Wells talked about Virginia. They're really working to stay true to their defense against this Clemson team because Clemson has a lot of attackers that they're looking to get the ball to.
So the senior in Dupre will serve. We'll talk more about Virginia's 5-2 offense with two setters, but one of them also taking swings as the cut from the left pin, and that's Leila Hadjilajapovic, who just misses off the foot of the line judge in a 2-1 UVA lead.
And you can tell she's really looking for those high hands against this Virginia block. She's looking to tool that block and get an early point.
Fans still filing in as the serve is wide. And, well, Regina, what does it say to put McGrath in the back row so you have the two freshman pin hitters to start it off for the Tigers?
Well, you know, it's something that, you know, they're really going to, Virginia especially, they're going to look to try to make these pin hitters pass the ball, get out in transition to hit. They're really going to work them and kind of pick on them a little bit just to get some more out-of-system passes going.
Quick set to the middle, and it's the transfer middle and Kate Dean who winds up with the point on some miscommunication over on Clemson's side. So we talked a bit about Abby Tatter. Here's Kate Dean, the transfer from Eastern Illinois.
Yes, and what a great setup on the block and a really great look by Bowie. She saw that wide open corner and just really went for it.
Ooh, serve is just long there. So a couple service errors by the Cavs have Clemson's top server in Joki at the line with 21 aces. Second in the conference amongst freshmen. She'll float one deep as well. You know, they always say service errors are a bit contagious.
That's right, it really is. And you know what, today's match is gonna come down to tough serves and that first ball contact.
Virginia a little quick with their sub there as down judge and Del Rosa Hughes wants a reset. So keep an eye on number 10 in blue. That's Zoe Dowd, the 6'2" freshman setter, but she also hits. So that's where the 5-2 offense comes into play, if you could explain it.
Yes, absolutely. So a 5-2 offense, it's a little different than your usual 6-2 offense where you have two setters, you run 6 hitters. So the 5-2, you still run the 2 setters, but you have one setter that's going to be setting from the front row. So as you can see right now, Dowd is right here on the front row. She's on that left pin.
Another look at Hadjilajapovic, his first kill at home as a Tiger.
And that's what we just talked about earlier. She's a smart hitter, high volleyball IQ. She took that off-speed shot right over the block to give herself an easier way to score.
Got to imagine nerves going through the Icelandic freshman's veins there as her serve goes long. And certainly something to keep an eye on. The two freshman servers, the two more talented servers, both with that high float.
Yes, absolutely. They have such a high contact point on the ball. They're so long, and they can really get that ball moving.
Perfect pass, directions and out to the left side in McGrath. Free ball comes for UVA, and Dowd will take a rip. That southpaw swing handled. There's a big cut by Asia Daly. Seeing back row attacks, adding to Virginia's arsenal. Now a slide for Tatter, and the senior from San Diego gives Virginia a 2-point ledge.
Yes, Tatter. Anytime Virginia gets that in-system pass, more than likely you're going to see them go to Tatter. Got some great digs, good rallies. Both teams, they're hungry right now.
McGrath from the left side, and she just misses wide on the sharp cross, so Virginia with their largest lead here early. Brooklyn Borum serving now, the senior from Illinois. Borum very similar to McGrath, very much the captain, vocal leader as one of the pin hitters as Clemson begs for a touch, and we'll have a quick challenge, our first of the evening from Coach Keir.
Yeah, it really looked like you could tell she was trying to hit high hands, so it'll be interesting seeing this replay. I couldn't quite see it live, but again, it's always really hard to tell. That speed of that ball is moving really quickly.
So Del Rosa Hughes.
The hands, and we've got some really good replay technology, so as they're slowing this down, we're really taking a look to see if you see anything moving, and it kind of looks like she's got a fingertip there, so we'll see if it's enough for them to overturn this call.
McGrath looking for her first kill. It was a fingertip, I believe it was the pinky over all the way on that right pin that they're looking at. Easily the hardest thing to overturn though, that touch.
Yes.
There you can hear it. Not just stands, confirmed. So conclusive evidence that shows that there was no touch. And Virginia leads by 4 here early in this first set as Devin Taylor, the defensive whiz that carries this Clemson team, tops in the ACC in digs per set. She became the second highest dig getter in Clemson history last weekend in Notre Dame.
And what a great season she's off to. She's just a powerhouse on the defense. She's quick. She's able to read the offense really well.
Tight to the net, and that's going to be a back row attack called against Clemson setter Audrey Armbruster. Making contact just above that net, and a timeout on the floor as we take one more look at the infraction and step away as Virginia leads 9-4 here in this first set. Big mark last week. First it was at a top 5 foe in Louisville where Devin Taylor stood tall, and Regina, it's always fun to play behind a top pro.
Oh my goodness, I love watching these liberos play, especially just high level of volleyball. She's played against some of the top teams in the nation and is just really not afraid to pass these hard attacks.
Of course, Julie Rodriguez, who was named to the Clemson Hall of Fame this year, now stands alone in 3rd with Taylor in 2nd as Asia Daly takes a cut, but a good block touch creates offense for Dupre. Beautiful ball popped over, recycled well by Dupre, so to the right side and Tatter. Sometimes she lines up as an outside.
Absolutely, and that's another effective way that they're running this 5-2. It really allows the defense to know where they're gonna go. And Tatter, she's, like I said before, she's such an explosive hitter. She's not afraid to swing right into those hands.
6-0 run for the Who's. And Kate Hansen able to make an impact with her defense, a star defender from Texas Tech.
Yes, what a great block. She stayed with her middle. She made sure that she was lined up with her. She didn't cheat. She wasn't waiting on that pin. And again, with that 5-2, they're running that number 10 setter as a front row hitter, so you're not sure whether she's going to attack on that second contact.
Hansen averaging nearly a block per set, now serves as Dowd is stuffed. And Clemson saw it coming from the attacking setter. And
again, the blocker staying patient, watching to see where that setter is going to take the ball. She waited, and went right up with that setter the second she saw she wasn't going to set the ball.
Great answer to a 6-0 run. Armbruster out to McGrath down the line. She beats Dode in the block.
And what a great swing. You can really see that she's swinging that crossbody right down the line. No one's back there expecting that ball.
Meanwhile, you see Indigo Young, the other transfer middle, up at the front row with Hansen serving. 10-7 in this opening set. Ray picked up beautifully by the freshman Addie Raines. But this block was fervent in the middle from Tatter.
Oh, what an amazing block. McGrath, she was trying to look for that off-speed shot, but she's just hanging in the air.
Tatter is no tip zone out there in the middle. She will serve. Quick set to Young. Standout career at Charleston Southern, and Indigo Young is hoping for a big senior campaign.
Yes, and she's such a great addition to this Clemson squad as a middle hitter. She can run that fast tempo offense, running that free ball to give her a little bit of chance to swing in that seam.
So Yoki and Sant come back in. Catherine Sant, a redshirt freshman setter from Illinois, in this 6-2 offense for the Tigers. Bumped out to Dupre. Yoki slams it down for her first kill.
That is a great spot. She saw the defense waiting back on their heels. They're expecting a hard swing, and she just gives a nice little push right over the block.
It's a great call. You could see Gamillion moving back on defense there, leaving that spot open.
Waiting for that hard attack.
Tight to the net, through the block goes Dupre, the senior from Alexandria.
And she's also been such a great pin hitter for the Cavaliers this year. She's just kind of that consistent player. She can work out of system, in system. Again, one of the hitters that's really not afraid to swing off the block.
So Dupre stays in the front row. Bowie files in, as well as Kate Dean, as Lee's serve targets the setter. But McGrath picks it up, and Yoki tips it over. Great cover. That's Borum. Yoki is blocked, and the Cavs brought the block party down to Clemson.
What a great rally. You know, both teams, they're really, really staying disciplined on defense. We've seen a lot of great blocks. They're closing the blocks. Hitters are trying to find different ways to score, and Virginia just really put that one down.
Ashley Lee, a senior from Texas. Picks up the dig, so out of system, out to Bowie. McGrath is gonna get a majority of the sets, and there's a reason why.
Yes, absolutely. She's such an effective hitter. Again, we said she's a 6 rotation outside hitter. She's gonna get a lot of out-of-system balls. She's got great power in her swing. You know, even though she's not the biggest pin hitter, she still can put some movement behind that ball.
So back to that opening rotation for the Tigers. Great line drive serve, but a perfect pass sets up the middle, and Dean's second kill.
Absolutely, and this is something that Coach Wells talked about earlier. They want to establish their middles early on so that the Tigers have a harder time finding which hitter is going to get the ball.
4-point edge. Hadjijapovic is sent straight packing by Dean and Bowie. Talk about a telegraphed ball.
Wow, and you know, Bowie sets up such a great block. Look how high they get. They're pressing over the net. She's allowing the middle to come and really close that, and Hadjijapovic had nowhere to go.
Right back to the freshman from Iceland, who gets the welcome to Clemson bounce there, and a player who had to take time to acclimate to the college speed looks like she's caught up.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, I love a good friendly net roll. We can thank the net for that. You know, she really was trying to take that hard angle, little help from the net, but I love that she's still not afraid to swing.
Hadjijapovic moved to Atlanta back in November, joined the Atlanta Performance Club. Made her debut last weekend, and she is heating up on the left side.
She's making her home debut tonight, that is for sure. They're gonna find her, especially when they're out of system. They can give her a high ball because she has that high contact point. It's really able to swing over the block.
Layla was the youngest player on the Iceland national team before moving to Atlanta last fall. Now out to the finish right side, and Yoki a little tight to the net, finds the first row fans. They didn't realize they were in the splash zone.
That's right, and you know, these out-of-system balls, they're really, really hard. Unless we're passing the ball right on top of our setter, it's really tough to get our hitters back in system.
Gamillion, one of the top liberos in the conference, 4th in digs per set. As this overpass is demolished, and the combination of the seniors, Borum and Tatter, have Virginia where they stand, 13-2.
Yes, and Borum, she was staying patient at that net. She was waiting, trying to decide if it's something she's going to pass, but she felt comfortable enough to swing right into the open back corner. It's a really great decision.
Meanwhile, Clemson had as tough as a start your first 2 weeks in conference play as it comes. You face Pittsburgh, Louisville, and jumpstart SMU as the Broncos, new to the ACC, swept Nebraska in non-con play and swept Georgia Tech as well. As we get restarted here out of the timeout, you gotta get it to the middle if you have a good first ball.
Absolutely, and that just goes to show right there what being in system looks like. You can pass right on top of your setter, run that quick middle, and again, she found that cut right around that middle blocker.
The side out brings the top ace getter on the team in Yoki to the line. Eats up Gamillion, so out of system out to Borum. Hadjilajapovic able to go down the seam.
And you had to know they were going to go to Layla right there. It was a great dig. Again, we just talked about how well they've been passing and able to get the ball to the right hitter.
I think her reaction just before we went to that replay says it all. She took a deep breath, looked at her bench, and now is in the game flow.
Love that.
The combo of Clemson freshmen leading the way thus far. Sant will send it over on 2. Bowie bombs it wide, and the Tigers are within 2.
Yes, you can tell she was trying to take too hard of a cut on that ball. She could see that open space because that right back setter was pulled back a little bit, but just missed it wide.
And now Virginia will counter with a timeout of their own.
And we're seeing it right now with only Virginia up by 2.
Meanwhile, the fans loving the Chaperone, looking to ignite a Clemson comeback here in this first set as the Tigers looking to play spoiler as Virginia seeks their first ever top 25 ranking. Much better pass by Gamillion, and Tatter is able to clean it up on the side out.
Yes, and what a great pass by Gamillion. I mean, she really passed outside of her body. She's comfortable using that angle because we talked about it before. Yoki is such a tough server. She has a true float serve, and Gamillion just really took a lot of cushion off of that ball.
Meanwhile, the top ace getter off the bench in Kate Johnson, the junior from Gainesville, Florida. Great cover there by Dupre. McGrath begging for a touch, does not get it as her back row attack sails long.
You know, I love that they use that option, you know, looking for that big attack right there. You know, Layla's working hard. They're trying to send the ball to her to make her pass and transition back out to hit. It's a really tough position.
Meanwhile, Abby Tatter with a cut on her finger, so she'll need some medical attention here as Coach Wells, you mentioned, such a student of the game, worked under Mary Wise, one of the legends in college volleyball world, the winningest coach in SEC history. And you know, Clemson on their side saying, wait, if she's bleeding, maybe it was a touch.
Wait a second, let's replay that.
However, the Tigers already used their first challenge and lost it, so they are down to just 2 for the remainder of the match, unless they get to a 5th set, whereafter they would gain an additional challenge.
You know, the challenge system, it really, you know, changes the game a little bit. You know, players are actively watching, coaches are looking, asking their players, are you sure, are you sure? I mean, they're trying to be very mindful of how they're using these challenge cards.
So Johnson, the serving specialist, seen her playing time grow with her success at the service line. That's as good as an ace with the overpass kill by Tatter, her 4th.
Wow, and again, they're picking on Layla just a little bit. She's that front row outside hitter. She pulls back and serve receive. so she's got to pass the ball, get out to hit. Now you can see they pushed her up a little bit. They've swung the defense around.
And so McGrath takes the ball. Big swing, Hadjila Japovic, the freshman from Reykjavik.
And that's the freshman they've been hoping to see come out tonight here in Derby. Powerhouse swing. She's so long. She's hitting over the block and around the block. And Gomillion, she got a great touch on the ball, but just couldn't control the power.
5 kills to lead all student athletes here tonight. Borum is blocked, but the covers have been brilliant by the Cavs, and it leads to an accidental kill. Borum, defense turns to offense.
Yes, she just, she didn't have enough time to get all the way out to hit. She just did that little off-speed shot after having that big stuff block, and just Clemson was waiting back on their heels. The defense hadn't shifted over, so it was really tough to keep that ball up.
Regina, Clemson has to feel like they deserve 5 or 6 blocks so far, but the covers have been there. As an overpass is stuffed, Zoe Dowd.
Dowd, she is so long as a setter, and that's why they're keeping her, Dowd, that's why they're keeping her in that front row position. She puts up a nice block.
How about a little off speed there from McGrath?
Yes, I love that. We talked during the last time out, Clemson's gonna look to find other ways to score. They had a lot of hitting errors, trying to swing high at hands. That little off-speed shot is gonna keep Virginia's defense on their toes.
It was a lengthy service run the last time Hansen towed the line. Opportunity to stay on offense here as McGrath tips and creates a net call. So the violation, the first of the evening, has Clemson within 4.
Yes, such a smart play again by McGrath. She's on the court, 6 rotations. She did another off-speed shot. The block was trying to hang in the air and stuff it down, but just didn't work.
And it was Dode who was in the net. But this time a perfect ball from the freshman Dode out to Dupre for the quick first ball side out.
And Dupre is a little bit quiet for Virginia. She's not hitting bombs of balls. She's staying really consistent, finding that small seam when she can, and just really swinging through the block.
2 points from the opening set. Out of system, Indigo was not ready for it. Still put a pretty good swing on it. Slide to Dean, and that one closer to Coach Keir than any of her starters on the floor, so Clemson within 4.
I'm sure she would have loved to take a pass on that ball.
Let's see the form from Keir.
That was really great resetting on the defense for Clemson. They had a little miscommunication error there, but they reset. They were able to be ready for that ball.
Sands, a little help from the tape. Beautiful dig by Taylor, her 8th. But down the seam, and Dupre gives her Cavs 5 set points.
What a textbook crossbody swing. She's keeping her hips open to her setter. She's looking at the court, fully looking, able to cross her arms across the body right down the line for an easy kill.
So Ashley Lee will go back to serve. Rotation 1 here for Virginia. And it's just long to keep the set breathing for the time being.
Yes, what a great watch by Raines back there. She followed that ball all the way to the line to make sure it was out before she just assumed. That's great communication. That's something that Coach Keir said that they've been working on this week at practice.
And a point-scoring rotation comes for Clemson with Hadjila Japovic at the net. But right over her goes Dupre, and a 4-kill set for the Hokie transfer, as Virginia takes it 25-20 behind very strong. So Clemson in serve receive to start this second set as Ashley Lee with aces in 2 of 4 conference matches. On a perfect ball out to Yoki for her 3rd kill.
And Yoki was ready for that. She is waiting. She takes such a long approach. She's really able to stay behind the ball, found the seam, and put it away.
Nea Maria Yoki from Tampere, Finland. You may be wondering why the Finland and Iceland flags are up next to the American flag, and it is to welcome in the international freshman for the Tigers as Virginia counters with their own first ball side out.
Yes, and again, this is what Coach Wells said that they were looking to do, establishing their middles, working on that first ball contact, and they did it right there.
Dupre to serve. She had 11 kills last season against Clemson as a member of Virginia Tech, who we will see Sunday at 1. Bowie off the hands. Set by Sant and demolished by Yoki.
And again, right now, she's going to be a go-to hitter for the Tigers. You can see the middle cheated a little bit. Yoki was able to have that one-on-one opportunity. And generally speaking, if you're one-on-one, a hitter versus blocker, more than likely that hitter's going to win that point every time.
Always fun to go from a big kill to the service line. As the float nearly eats up Dupre, but a quick set as Dean finds the line. And Virginia, no mistaking it, they want to get their middles involved.
Yes, absolutely. Again, establishing your middles early in the game really forces the other team's block and defense to have to make a decision.
Meanwhile, Clemson will rotate into their quote-unquote second team with Armbruster and Daly as Hadji Lajapovic right through the block for the kill.
Yes, Layla, she's really great at hitting those high hands, got that touch, possibly.
You know, this is a fun one, Regina. So Coach Wells is going to challenge, and I saw Lauren Bowie look at her coach and say, I did not touch it. But to the naked eye, it sure looked like a touch.
Absolutely, it really did.
And this is where the importance of being honest with your head coach comes into play, doesn't it?
100%, especially because you don't want to waste that challenge ball if you don't have to, unless you're absolutely sure.
You know, it's the middle, in fact, that looked to get a touch on it. So Bowie may not have been lying, but it won't matter.
Yes, and it looks like, I mean, pretty obvious to me. There was a good touch on the ball. Again, you're looking for fingertips, hands, anything that kind of is making a movement.
You can see the right hand of Tatter kind of filter back just a smidge as this next frame moves.
Yes, and you know, that's a great look by the line judge.
Or not.
Yep. Sometimes even we get it wrong.
I'll bite my tongue on that one.
Again, that's why these challenges, they could really change momentum of the game. It's really hard to see live, and sometimes even in the replays, it's hard.
I mean, it looked pretty clear, but nevertheless, Wells will win her challenge. Virginia does have 3 challenges remaining. Clemson has 2 remaining. As Gamillion to serve. What do you say, the ball never lies?
Yes, that's usually the way it goes.
So now Hadji Lajapovic to serve with 1 ace in the 2 matches she played last weekend as the block formed and secured by Hansen.
Yes, Hansen, she was waiting for that. She was able to close the block really quickly. And again, you know, the Tigers are setting a great block right now. They're really making the Cavaliers work hard to score points.
Tatter can't get it over the net, so Clemson has their largest lead tonight with an early spurt.
Yes, those out-of-system sets are really hard, especially for a middle. And she thought about trying to tool it off the hands, but again, just hit that net and came back on the other side.
Layla Sada Hadji Lajapovic. Go ahead and say that 10 times fast as no defense in right back leads to the big kill, and that's going to force Virginia's entire bench to get into it because Coach Wells really wanted the big to get going.
Yes, she said this week in practice they were really working on trying to get that back row attack implemented in their game plan and also being effective.
Turns around to Virginia's top server in Kate Johnson. Almost as many aces this year as she had all of last year with 20 as a quick side out comes from Hansen's right arm.
That first ball contact is so important. Establishing the middle. Look at that, ball's passed right on top of the setter. She's able to easily pick which corner she wanted to swing to, and that was a really effective kill.
Clemson with a strong start offensively this set as Young files into the front row. And Borum able to tool the block. That's Asia Daly out there. One of the taller setups between Indigo Young and Asia Daly.
Yes, and you know, that's going to be a really hard ball. I love that Borum wasn't afraid to swing into those hands.
Short serve from Borum. Young is able to leap with the tallest of them. Only 6 foot, so an undersized middle, but she touches almost 10'5".
Yes, she's undersized at 6 foot, which kind of sounds crazy to say, but really, and right now it seems like it's a battle of the middles. I love watching middles go at each other. It's great. It's been one-on-one opportunities, which means they're doing a great job establishing their middles on both sides.
And you know, that's what the 5-2 offense brings to the table.
Absolutely. You can tell Clemson's middle, they were cheating a little bit with the setter, with Dode. They weren't sure whether she was going to take it over on that first contact, and instead she gave their pin a one-on-one attack.
Dode, who averages a kill per set, takes about 10 to 15 swings a match, so got to keep the blockers honest as Dode picks up a dig. Dupre is blocked just out of bounds, and Virginia has clawed back even here early in the second.
Oh, and that's such a textbook block. They had great form, but they really needed to push that ball back into the middle of the court, really working on turning those hands back into the court.
Great first ball, sets up Young for another kill, and Indigo Young starting to heat up with 3:06.
Yes, I love it. They're really feeding Young. We like to say you feed the beast. Who's on fire right now? Let's get the ball to them, especially when you're staying in system with your passes. We have those out-of-system passes. It's hard to run your middle, and right now the middles are really scoring points for both teams.
Young led the Big South Conference, hitting .386 last season. They're hitting efficiency high. Dupre handled by McGrath. Now maybe last season that hits the ceiling, but with the new upgrades, the free ball lands out of bounds.
I love the idea. She was trying to take it to the right back of the court, looking to take the setter out to get it into out-of-system play, but just missed long. And again, I'm sure everyone's thankful that the ceilings are now raised a little bit. Very helpful in those high passes.
15 feet, in fact, and we'll learn more about that in the intermission after this set. 8-all the score as Young tips and is rejected by Dean. A pair of small school transfers as Eastern Illinois stuffs Charleston Southern.
Dean, look at that hang time. She had just enough to keep her fingertips up and work with that off-speed shot and just put it back down.
Hadjilajapovic, that is a senior move to push through the block for the kill.
It is, and Coach Keir talked about how she came in as a freshman. You know, she still had some high errors. She hadn't been playing, but right now she is playing like an upperclassman. She's smart. She's using all of her shots and just giving her team more opportunities to score.
Line drive serve from one bro to the other, and Dean eats up Devin Taylor there in left back.
And let's talk about the pass from Gomillion. I mean, she's not afraid to pass outside of her midline, which, you know, a lot of players on a float serve like that, they're trying to pass center of their body, but she's not afraid to pass outside of her body.
Dupre has been the leader thus far. 16 swings, 7 more than any other Cavalier, but her serve goes long. We're tied at 10.
You know, she's played really well tonight. I think, again, she's the one player that has beaten Clemson since 2019, so I think she's trying to keep her streak alive, too.
No doubt about it. Dupre leads the team with over 3 kills a set. This junk ball works its way out to Borum, and she's able to tool the block and find right down into the paint.
Borum, wow, and that is such a great set. Again, we talk about our defense, or their defense, they're digging to the well. They're able to have 3 options for hitters, and it's a great set for her on the outside.
It was a beautiful bump out by Ashley Lee, who is now just 55 assists away from 2,000 as the ace, our first of the evening, goes to Milan Gamillion.
I love it, and that's what we've been looking for. Both teams, they said that they were going to be working on high-quality serves to really try to take each other out of their offense.
Beautiful dig by the sophomore and Armbruster, and a flailing attempt by Daly goes long as Virginia stretches the lead out to 3. And a timeout called by Coach Keir as we will take one with her. The Cavs come storming back. We're going to take a 2-0 lead.
Recruiting and really getting our team put together to start an ACC play.
Out of the timeout, Clemson has been good on those first balls, but this one's sent packing as Taylor recovers. Bomb by Bowie, handled by McGrath. Eating up Gamillion is a tall task. Kate Hansen has 3 early kills.
I love that. You know, what a smart play by Layla, too. You know, she took an off-speed shot, took Virginia out of system just a little bit. Great in-system pass, went back to the middle again, and it just gave them opportunity to swing those deep corners.
Lajapovic to serve. And it's a quick service run as Dupre ends it with a bang from the back row.
Yes, Dupre, something Coach Wells talking about, that thick. You know, Clemson wasn't quite ready for that. But right in front of that 10-foot line, 3-meter line, she came in. It almost feels like a front row attack, so it's really hard to defend those and get that defense set up.
Johnson up by 3. McGrath has to go to the left hand. Dode and Tatter is blocked as Clemson reads that one-footed slide well.
Yes, and what a great setup on the block by McGrath. She was able to take that one step back into the court and really let her middle close that ball and take away that hard angle.
Very impressed by the freshman Zoe Dode. 6 early assists. Borum can't make it 7 as she blasts it long, and Clemson pulls within 1 now.
Yes, and Clemson, they're staying disciplined on that block. So again, Virginia's looking to hit those high hands, tool off the block, but Clemson's staying true to their defense.
Deep float by Hansen, a good leave by Gamillion, and Virginia gets to 15 first here in the second.
You know, there's been a lot of service errors this match. You can tell both teams, they're really trying to be aggressive serving, but they're doing a great job.
It's not long by much, as you see from the replay. 10th dig of the match from Gamillion. And Dode able to pick up her first kill. It's always funky to have to deal with a left-handed setter.
Oh, absolutely. They're so comfortable at the net attacking with that left hand. It's really hard for the defense to read where she's going to go, is she going to set. So again, it's so effective not only to have a front row setter, but to also have that southpaw.
16-13. First set was 25-20. That's a smooth operator on the left wing as Mia McGrath picks up her 5th kill.
Yeah, she got right on top of those blockers' hands. You know, the defense, they're still staying deep, but not quite deep enough because they're still trying to stay ready for those off-speed shots. Just couldn't get a handle on that.
Brings in Catherine Sands. Touch is called. Dupre on a ball that was a hitter's delight. If you can get a junk ball so tight to the net, isn't that a dream?
Oh, absolutely. Especially if the blocker's up in the air so high. Just a nice, easy crossbody or just get any kind of touches off the hands. It's a hitter's dream.
The overturn at the net on the touch ruling as the joust is won up by Kate Dean, and She breathes a sigh of relief on that one as Virginia leads by 4.
Yeah, and you know that the overpass is also a hitter's dream, especially if you get the timing right. But she was ready for that. She made it work.
Coach Keir is going to use a timeout now as Clemson extinguishes both before either team gets to 20. What was always your strategy between saving?
You never know what's going to happen, and you know that's why we really play the game.
Coach Wells giving a few tips to her senior bro in Gamillion. So the freshman Yoki, that is a talented swing to the far corner.
Yeah, she is out of system, and especially for an opposite hitter to swing out of system and be that effective, it's really hard. That ball is coming over your opposite shoulder that you're used to. She's a right-hand hitter out on the opposite, so she did a great job waiting, and really battling through that ball.
System, but the set was errant out to Dupre. That's the first setting error we've seen from Virginia. They've been very tactical.
Yes, and Coach Wells talked about her two setters. They're both very different tempos. So it's one of those, you know, getting them used to if we're running for something quick, something high, just a little miscommunication.
So attacking errors piling up now. Meanwhile, you don't see that often. Borum just took that serve from the libero. That just shows they talk about how Borum could be a bro in another life.
Yes, absolutely, and I love that. I love that they're really trying to, you know, get the best quality passes that they can. She felt she was in a better position, and I'm all about it. I love a bro. I think bros should take every single ball in the back row. That's just me, but I love that they're just staying really disciplined, and it's great to see other passers step into. I love it. I'm a full proponent of taking every single second of a timeout, you know, getting your team that rest, that breather. You know, she talked about it before, that they want to get that connection, that communication going. It's a perfect opportunity to do that.
The two Tiger freshmen in the front row with Young. It's back out to Dupre, who tools the block.
Absolutely, you had to know it was going back out to Dupre. She's so long. You looked at her touch point, even on the block. She's able to hit really high hands. The Tigers set up a perfect block. Perfect block. She hit those high hands, and again, that defense was sucked in just a little bit, wasn't able to get out.
Now Dode. Handled by McGrath. Perfect set, deception at the highest form from Dode out to Bowie.
What a great set by Dode. They're running something really quick behind the setter. It doesn't give that blocker an opportunity to get over fast enough and close that block, and she really had an empty net on that. It was a great play.
Dode, a freshman from Granville, Michigan, who graduated early and joined this Cavalier team in the spring. Pumps one tight, that's an overpass. Cannot be terminated though by Yoki. And Dupre drops the hammer, 21-17.
Wow, what a way to come back from that. It was not a great out-of-system set. It went way over into the up rough, able to save it back in, and then went right back to her, and she put it away. That's such a hard cut shot, too.
You talk about a momentum point. 2018, it's a tight set. All of a sudden, Virginia survives to hold the serve, and they are 4 points away from intermission. That one looked like it was tight to the net, and Bowie wins the battle again.
Yes, Bowie, what a great save on that. The ball was really tight on the net, especially out of system. Ideally, you're looking to pass that ball 5 feet off the net, 5 feet in, to give your hitter an opportunity to set up and get a nice swing on the ball. But Bowie, way to adjust to that.
Aggressing Morse. And Tadjilajipovic can't get it over the net. Oh, she does get a touch on it. That's a big-time side out on a call that has Virginia's bench befuddled.
Yes, the Tigers, they needed this momentum shift right here. What a smart play. She's really not playing like a freshman this match.
Kill number 7 for Layla Sara. Kill number 11 for Elena Dupre. This is her 9th match of the season with double-digit terminations.
Dupre is having a fantastic match. That ball was even set a little bit far inside, but she took her first step to the ball, so she was still able to get her hips around and hit that deep corner. Great, great, great play.
Pick up by Lee. Out of system to Yoki. Remember, no more doubles in women's volleyball game, so that set is legal, and so is Yoki's kill.
Yes, Yoki, I love that she wasn't afraid to swing in that block. They're really not playing it safe. You know, sometimes hitters, they kind of get afraid if they've been blocked a couple times. You'll see them making a lot of high-hitting errors, but Tigers are doing a really good job of staying aggressive on the net.
I'd say Yoki's due for an ace here. But the serve receive has been up to the task. Great read on that dump. And Sands has to take a swing. So you see Clemson out of subs, having to use their setter in the front row. And Hadjilajapovic is stuffed.
Wow, Bowie and Dean, they set up a textbook block. Look how high they're reaching over. You know, Hadjilajapovic did not have anywhere to take that ball.
Meanwhile, Yoki stuck out in the back row. They'll hide her in serve receive. And it's an overpass. Set points for Virginia, and it's put away by the veteran Tatter as the Cavs storm away.
You know, like Virginia, they want to keep the momentum, win these sets. The Tigers, I think if they can stay true to this first contact, getting the ball to their setter, running their middles, giving more one-on-one opportunities, it's really going to help propel them in this set.
Well, Virginia went to the bench and McKenna Gildon to start the set at the service line, but she has sided out with ease as the first ball contact for the Cavs have been so high today.
Yes, it really has. And you know, a lot of teams, they generally focus on that first ball contact in practices and matches because that starts the play. It's really important, really important.
Meanwhile, Asia Daly, she's been invisible, seeing if they can get the right side going as Armbruster dumps and picks up the early kill from the setting position.
Yes, what a smart play. You know, Virginia, they're expecting these heart attacks, so they are waiting back on their heels a little bit. As you can see, they're still in transition, trying to get to their spots. It was just an easy way to score a point.
So Young files in, pushing Hansen to the service line. Again, another first ball contact to perfection, and that's how you can get the middles going in Kate Dean.
Yes, and this has kind of been the storyline tonight for Virginia. Their first ball contact, when it's great, you can expect them to go to their middle.
Gildon sends it the length of the court. Lee finds Bowie, and it's picked up by Armbruster, but flung just long as Daly was seeking her first kill tonight.
And what a good look by Daly. That was so smart. You know, anytime they're still transitioning that second ball, get it back to the corner. She just missed it.
Great dig by Chameleon. Daly cannot find that first termination. They'll go back to her.
Chameleon's just on fire right now.
Clemson leading the conference in digs per set, hoping to wake up on defense here in this must-win set. And it's Borum who's able to battle through for her 5th kill.
Wow, and Borum, she did use the net a little bit on that one, but great digs by Chameleon to keep all these plays alive. Borum wasn't quite all the way out ready to hit, but she just still swung through that block to make a play on the ball.
3-0 spurt for the Wahoos, and it ends on Daly's first kill. They were resilient to get Asia Daly to hit that floor.
Yes, I love it. And you really want to get your opposite hitter going. It just gives your outside hitter a little less pressure on the ball. Daly this time was really smart. She knew that Chameleon had been scooting back on defense. She found that open court.
15 kills from Milan Gomilian. Taylor with 12. The tips and rolls just have not worked against this Cavalier defense. Finally, they welter. It took 3 swings for Virginia to finally give in as Clemson's defense holds strong.
And it was a spectacular rally, too. Again, Virginia's looking to use that big attack to really force Clemson out of system, but they were ready for it. Defense was set up. It just happened to go in the net.
Good deep serve by Sant. Blasted down the seam by Bowie, and it beats Gildon 5-3.
And that's a great set, too. She set against the flow. The ball was pushed over to the left side of the court. She did a great job shooting that back to the pin hitter. And Clemson's defense, they were a little on their toes, not quite ready to know where she was going to set the ball.
So now Dode will file into the front row. So just 3 attackers on the floor for Virginia, in addition to the 6'2" setter. And the serve is wide from Johnson.
That was a great watch by Gildon out there. Really focusing on making sure that ball was going out before she stepped away.
So a change made by the Tigers as Kennedy Wagner will file in, replacing Hadji Lajapovic. Wagner, who played decent to start conference play, has found her way back in the lineup, and the Tigers have found themselves tied in this set.
And the Tigers right now, they're going to try to build on this momentum. They've had a couple good points right here. They're looking to keep Virginia on their toes.
Tatter, perfect swing. McGrath lets it go and is wary for it as UVA retakes the lead.
And Tatter, you can see she's set up in the middle. She's kind of running a quasi-slide a little bit. So Clemson's middle had a hard time tracking her down. It gave her that open seam to really get that cut shot.
Good pass by Wagner. How about a triple jump there from Young? And a wise shot. The snake eye look from Dupre for her 12th kill.
Yes, Dupre again, she's had now.
Back in Jervey Gym, and it has certainly been a block brigade brought down from Charlottesville.
It's a block party here in Clemson. Both teams, the pin hitters are doing a great job setting up the block. The middles are working hard to close. These balls are going straight down, and the hitters are now having to find different ways to score on the ball.
Elena Dupre has added help on both sides, 2 blocks for Diggs and 12 kills to lead all scorers. As we welcome you back in alongside Regina Poppy, I'm Daniel Gilman. Virginia looking for another conference sweep, but Kennedy Wagner off the bench has something to say about it.
Yes, and you know, it's a good change by Coach Kier. It gives Virginia a little different look. It allows Wagner to take some bigger swings at the ball, and she's a veteran hitter, so she's really working hard out there.
We've seen Clemson hang tight late in both sets. In fact, Virginia had to call timeouts at 17-15 and 18-17 in each frame. But the Cavaliers have run away to finish each set. Meanwhile, a service error has Tatter at the service line. 7 kills, 2 blocks for the middle. And a block again, and a stare down to boot from Dode.
Yes, Dode, she is so effective. Usually, hitters are gonna try to swing over that shorter offside blocker, but Dode is long, she's lengthy, she's able to press over really hard.
Great pass by McGrath, needing a kill. Picked up by Tatter. All right, into the donut from Wagner. That's a veteran cut.
You gotta love that off-speed shot. She's had 3 back-to-back powerhouse swings. You know, she's still going in like she's gonna take a big swing, just takes a little bit off the ball. Virginia, they really worked hard to get there, but they just weren't ready for it.
The freshman Yoki, over 20 aces already, as she picks up another, second in the conference among freshmen in aces, and there's number 22.
And you can see the ball movement on her serve. the high contact point. She's getting that ball to float. It's hard to pass those. It's way hard.
Tigers have had as tough of a conference schedule as you could possibly create, with their fourth top 30 opponent in 5 matches as Wagner misses wide.
I love that she was going for that hard angle shot. It's a wide open court. It was the perfect set for that. It's a little bit inside, but she missed barely wide. Good job by Gomillion to stay on that line, ready to call that ball.
There's the stats for the freshman in Dode. Meanwhile, Armbruster and Daly's turn has come. Look at that effort. Can it get over? Just into the net as an ace generated the second tonight for Virginia.
Wow, that was a great, great serve. I love that. You know, the libero is still getting that second touch on the ball, still trying to send it over the net. It was just short.
Oh, a low set, handled nicely by Hansen, the sophomore who plays like a veteran.
Yes, Hansen, she was a little jabbed in a little bit. That was a low set, great pass. And really the serve and pass game has been the story of this match.
Here's the upcoming schedule. It doesn't get much easier with the duo against top 25 Georgia Tech, but Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, NC State down at the bottom of the conference. Clemson finally gets a chance on Sunday to turn their season around, but not too late here tonight as Daly rejects Bowie.
Yes, and Clemson, the Tigers are not going to race right now. They're going to work hard. You know, Coach Keir, she's keeping her team connected. She's encouraging them. And, you know, this match isn't over.
Far from it, down just 2 points as Gildon with a strong serve. Virginia escapes the ace, scrambles on defense. Look at Milan Gomillion, 16 digs here in the third set. But she can't pick up this one. Daly, the cheeky tip, and we're within 1 here.
The Tigers, they're using every shot they have in their arsenal. They're going to swing hard at you, keep the defense pushed back, then they're going to hit you with a little bit of an off-speed tip shot, and that's the way you score points. Keep the defense on their toes.
From 10-6 to 12-11, and 12-all is the score as Dupre sprays her 7th error.
Yes, and these unforced errors, that's going to really hurt. And, you know, even adding SMU, Cal, Stanford, it's just making this more competitive. So when you're on the road or at your home gym, it's going to be a competition, a competitive team every single night you're competing.
Of course, the 2 staples in the Final Four the last few seasons. Pittsburgh has made 3 straight Final Fours, the only team to do so, as they sit #1 in the nation as Kate Dean. What a day for her. 8 kills, 11 swings without an error.
Wow. And you know, as a middle, that's so effective, especially when Virginia, they're using her a lot out of serve receive. And usually that's not the time you want to use them. You use them more in transition because the defense is moving, but they've done a great job getting her the ball in the right spot.
Good communication there by Armbruster. That one surely would have hit the ceiling last year. Again, it's Dean. Stay hot, the Eastern Illinois transfer.
Yes, and you know, the free balls are really, really hard to defend because usually you're giving them a perfect in-system pass. They went right to the middle. Clemson just didn't have a chance to win that point.
The Tigers are going to have to stop the Virginia middles if they're going to come back here in this third set. There's Hansen, picked up by Lee. Oh, blast off from McGrath, and that's a big-time side out for the veteran.
Oh, this is huge for McGrath. She's such a leader on the court. She'd have a big performance, a big swing on there. You know, she was able to cut through that seam, tooled off the block a little bit, and the defense wasn't able to pick that up on the Cavalier side.
Have to imagine Mia McGrath is going to need 5, 6, 7 more kills in this set if Clemson is going to see 25 as Dean once again, her 10th kill on an errorless night.
Yes, and I think they took a little something out of the Tigers playbook there with that tip off-speed shot, taking Clemson out of system. They weren't ready for it.
Armbruster got a little tight to the net there, and it won't matter as it's slapped down as Virginia leads by 3. Let's take a look at that one.
Yeah, these balls are so hard, especially for back row setters. If it's a 50-50 ball, they're not able to go up with that ball. They're going to call it a back row attack. So those are really hard for setters to get to.
However, Armbruster battles nicely to set up Daly for the kill.
And it's great to see Daly going right now. This is what they need. They need this momentum. She's had a great third set. They're going to look for her a little bit more. And they're giving her a one-on-one opportunity because right now, Virginia's middle, they're set up with Clemson's middle. And so it's giving her a better chance to score those points.
In comes Sant. Also means Yoki. But it won't matter as Sant picks up the ace.
Yes, what a serving battle. What a serving battle.
A volleyball family for Catherine. I remember calling a match a few years ago with her sister Ella, the setter for St. Mary's out in California. Her mom, Kara, played for Northwestern. Needing a service run here is another, they're gonna call it a touch at the net. I thought Clemson was gonna pull even, but Virginia stays on top.
And it doesn't look like Coach Fear is gonna challenge that. She goes up high, trying to hit those high hands. Those are really tough balls.
Yeah, we've seen how hard it is to overturn. However, Virginia did win the challenge to overturn a touch. He's got to bounce back here as Indigo does brilliantly.
Great control on that pass. They were able to run the middle. It was even a low set, but she was still able to hang with it and get that back corner. She's so athletic. See how high she gets in the air. She hangs. She was able to get that setter, give her a nice set.
For the third straight set, Clemson within 1 in the late teens. Wow, what a swing by Tatter to tightrope the line.
Yeah, she almost had an open net on that swing, but she was able to just find a little piece outside of that pin blocker and just barely got that line. What a great swing.
Out to Wagner. Tatter on the slide, unstoppable for her 9th kill.
Yes, and that's who Virginia's looking to go to, especially, we talked about it before, Dode is that front row setter. She's running a little bit of a slide, and she really loves that cut shot, especially because the middle got stuck and she wasn't even able to go up on that block.
And on a 2-0 spurt, Clemson wants a...
Really take that back into this next match this weekend and then into next week, and that can be a huge game changer for a team.
Once again, Virginia comes out of their timeout before Clemson does. There's a little bit of gamesmanship there as well, showing the other team, hey, we're ready, we're composed. We want to get this action resumed. Brooklyn Borum, who has played as a second libero at times next to Gamillion. Back to Dupre. Beautiful pickup by Taylor, her 15th. Wagner misses wide and nobody wanting a touch, so it's 2016.
What a dig by Taylor. She's really keeping the Tigers in this game right now. She's passing right to the center of the court, giving her setter every opportunity to get 3 hitters on the ball.
Awkward set. Handled out to Dupre, and she cannot get it over the net this time as a 3-0 run comes to a close for the Wahoos.
And what a great set on the block by Joki. Again, the pin hitter, their job is to set up the block so their middle has time to close, and they can put up a block, whether they block it or not. It gives the defense a chance to kind of just fade around them and cover the spots on the court.
Taylor serves, about an inch long. And this may be worth a final challenge at this point in the match, and it will be.
I love how both teams are serving aggressively. I think, again, they're trying to take each other out of system.
So Clemson will challenge, and we talked about this off air. It's also a bit of a timeout.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, especially when it's close like that, you know, it's a good time to use that challenge. It's late in the match, so even if you lose it, you still have another. But I think this is a good time for Coach Keir to really settle her team down, get that one extra timeout to talk with them.
Let's take a look at the challenge rules. Each coach starts with 2 challenges. This would be the final one if Clemson loses. But if you win the challenge, you get it back. Meanwhile, if you go to a 5th set, you get an extra challenge if you have less than 2. Let's see if we can get a tight look at this Taylor serve, the difference between an ace and a service error.
Yeah, that's really close. From here, it looks like there still is a little space between the ball and the line, and that's what you're looking for. Probably that first look was probably going to be your best angle to tell.
Yep, so the call is confirmed by Del Rosa Hughes. Clemson out of challenges, out of options. They need to go on a run to extend this match. We have seen 3 eerily similar sets here this evening.
We really have, and it's like Clemson, that middle part of the set, they seem to be more comfortable banging on the ball a little bit, and then they just kind of loosen up a little bit here late in the set.
Out of system, out to Yoki, and another block for the Cavaliers, their 9th.
Yes, and again, it's a block party happening here in Jervy. These out-of-system balls, they're really hard to attack on because you've given the defense a chance to set up on your ball, and it's really tough to score a point.
Hansen will find a kill and maybe give a little life to the hosts.
Yes, the Tigers really, really needed that. You know, she just got some fingertips on the ball, and what a great save, too, by the setter. You know, that ball was really tight to the net. I love that Hansen went up with her, so she was able to get a touch on it.
Top server on the team, Yoki needs a run. Dode out to Dupre and off the net and out of bounds. Clemson with a little life within 3.
Great look by Taylor. She's staying really disciplined. Coach Keir said that they needed to stay in the system, stay disciplined on defense. She had a good look. She's right there waiting for that ball and was able to call it out.
Virginia does have one final timeout. We'll see if they use it after this point if Clemson holds. Beautiful block touch by Wagner. Dode takes a rip and finds the back line.
Oh, and that's why having that left-handed setter on the front row really can impact a game. You know, in Clemson, they did a great job setting up on their defense. They reset. Dode was still able to go with that ball and take a nice rip at it.
Just her 2nd kill, but easily the biggest for Zoe Dode. An ace to boot, and now 2 aces as Virginia has 5 match points.
Great effort by Daly trying to save that ball. Dode, she really put some pace on the serve. It's hard to handle for the Tigers.
Backs against the wall. Beautiful dig by Gamillion. Hasn't that been an analogy of this match?
She really
Wagner!
has been incredible, but wow. Wagner said, no, thank you. She is gonna keep forcing this. What a beautiful set, one-on-one opportunity. The middle was kind of hanging with the Tigers a little bit, and she just put that ball away. Coach
Keir's gonna have a tough pin decision on Sunday. Wagner has earned a little bit more playing time as Gildon serves. Still 4 more match points. Big swing by Daly. Run down though by Gamillion. Wells helps her to her feet. And McGrath
The Tigers are not backing down. It's not over. It is not over. I love that both teams have really been utilizing their right side, so they're forcing their middle to run across both ends of the net, and they're just able to terminate that on the outside. Very smart setter moving the ball around.
Gildon again. Might have been out of bounds. Saved, however. But it's Dean, and a magical night for Kate Dean caps it. The third straight sweep for the Virginia Cavaliers as their historical season continues running on.